Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Naomi, and tonight I'm going to talk to you all about social media. So, a little bit about myself. I've been on social media, working on social media, particularly Instagram and Facebook, for 14 years, and makes me sound old. And prior to that, prior to social media, I did traditional business the old-fashioned way. And when I say the old-fashioned way, I mean the old-fashioned way. There was no mobile phones, there was no social media, there was no emails back when I first started business. So everything was belly to belly. We didn't even have a home phone when I first started business. So it was flyers, walking into actual shops, meeting people in the street, even remember doing old-fashioned letter drops. And I actually was really successful back then. And I often think to myself, what would I do without social media now? Because we often think that we can't do things without social media, but we can. We're talking to people all the time. I think it's fair to say that these devices are really great tools, but sometimes they take away our natural ability to connect. Would that be fair to say? And we think that if we can't master social media, then we can't have a business these days. And I've spoken to many people that haven't done business before using mobile phones or social media, and they get really hard on themselves because they can't seem to master the social media, and they think that they're not good at anything, and that's not true. So, what I want to share with you is I've been able to build successful businesses in the space before technology. And what I've done, and it's worked for me, is I've taken that same concept of how we connect before social media, how we connected from heart, asking really great questions, prompting really great conversations, and I've applied it to social media. So I'm going to talk more into that. Now, I'm no expert, but I know what's worked for me. And I've only ever used social media as a tool. The other thing I want to say is, would it be fair to say that every time we go onto our social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anything, we see a lot of ads? Yeah. Now, our phones are listening to us all the time. So I'll guarantee you after this call, what I'm going to see pop up on my phone, and if you've got your devices near you that can hear my voice, you're probably going to see a lot of ads around social media, marketing, all these ads trying to get you in to pay for this, to pay for that. And what happens with that is it becomes really noisy and a big distraction. And when we start seeing these ads pop up, we think we can't do social media without it. We start to think, oh, I need that. Oh, I need that one. Or maybe I need to pay for that. But the reality is, if you feel you need to pay for anything, pay for education around how to use Instagram. And Instagram actually offers that. So you actually don't need to go to anyone else and pay anyone else to learn how to use social media. You can actually go to the source, and the best part about that is the source will actually give you the relevant information at the time for that brand. Does that make sense? So kind of don't get too distracted with the noise. So what I want to talk into today, and I'm going to give you some real tangible tricks that you can do after this call. I am recording this, so you can play it back, listen, take notes, whatever, and I will share the recording. I'm going to give you some real tricks that you can actually do when you've got some time and you want to work on it. But what I want to talk into is it doesn't matter how many followers you've got. You can have 100 followers or 100,000 followers or 1,000,000 followers and actually still succeed. And most people don't believe that. They think that they need a bunch of followers to be successful, right? What you need is a few things. Firstly, if you are doing, and this can apply to any business that you do. You could be an accountant, you could be a real estate agent. I've got many businesses, and my credential for this is I've built a 7+ figure business using Instagram. And I do not cold call. I do not do cold reach outs. And I'm going to share how I do that. Okay. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's what I will tell you the truth with. But there's consistency, there's a daily non-negotiable, and there's a few things you need to do before you start posting every day. The first really great trick I'm going to share with you is, and I wanted to do it all fancy and bring it up on a slideshow, but you know what? I'm a disaster when it comes to technology. I can build a 7-figure business online, no worries, but put too many prompts in front of me and I'll be fumbling around and you'll think, how does she make money online? She's crazy. So I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to show my Instagram screen to you. So there's a section in, can you all see that? Actually, do you all have your phones in front of you? Perfect. I want you to go onto Instagram, and if you can find me, Nyomi Home Official, and I want you to bring up my page. It's easier for me to talk you through so you know what I'm talking about. You can actually see it. Now, are you all on there? Yep. Okay. So you can see I've got my picture in the circle and I've got a heading to the side, Nyomi, living life on my terms and teaching you how. Then you can see how many posts I've done, how many followers I've got, and how many people I'm following. Then you've got a few lines. They call this the bio, right? And then you can see I've got a little bit of a description about what I do. Crypto, travel, digital magic. I do a few things online. Crypto is my biggest business personally online, and the travel club. Then I've got a free guide, money manifesting. And then I've got a link to a store. Okay. What I want you to do, you don't do it now, just take a note, is when you've got some time, I want you to screenshot your social media. So do a screenshot. I want you to shorten it so it only shows that in the image. Okay. And then I want you to open up ChatGPT, and I want you to put your image into ChatGPT, and you're going to ask it to improve your Instagram bio. You might want to say to ChatGPT, I'll just pretend I'm talking to ChatGPT. I would say, can you analyze this image and improve my bio? My business is, let's just say I'm talking, I'm into diversification. My businesses are crypto, decentralized, travel, and hydrogen water. So whatever your businesses are, put it in there to ChatGPT and ask them to create a bio for you. Now you can tweak that, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you the best bio for your page. It might ask you to improve the name or change the name. So we did a friend of mine the other day, and the way she had her name, it prompted her to change it. Okay, so it might, what it does for you, Sky, you, Kylie, you, Lisa, it's going to do something different for all of you. Now you can tweak it, but also to keep in mind that when you're doing a bio, there's only a certain amount of, like to fill the gap, basically. So if it does it over and it doesn't fit in, don't try and take things out yourself. Go back to ChatGPT and say, no more than 300 words of letters or whatever it is, because it's different for Facebook, it's different for Instagram, and it's different for TikTok or whatever platform you use, LinkedIn, whatever. So you wouldn't put potentially the same bio. If you're asking ChatGPT to do your Instagram one, say it's Instagram. Then take a photo of your Facebook one and do the same thing for that. Don't go do it once and then put the same bio. Why do that? Because what it's going to do is it's going to optimize your reach. Okay, and this is all real stuff. You're gonna love it. It's magic, right? Now, ChatGPT is a fantastic tool if you work online, if you're using social media, if you have a business, doesn't matter what business it is, and you're using social media as a lead generation tool, you should be using ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT, and I'm all for doing things the old-fashioned way, but not with this, because it's not going to serve me. Now, ChatGPT gets to know you and gets to understand and remember what your business is, how you like to say and do things. It really does get to know you. But always make sure that you read over, because what ChatGPT doesn't seem to remember is that I'm in Australia, right? So it doesn't spell things the way we spell them sometimes. And I think that's really important. And you know what? I get it wrong sometimes. If I'm in a hurry, sometimes I spell emphasize with a Z because I've copied and pasted it, and I'm chasing twins around the farm and I'm trying to do my non-negotiable. It happens. Don't worry about it. And I'm sure we've all got one of those friends that will pick you up on it from time to time. I'm sure we all have one of those friends. So what you can also do, so that's the first step. right? Before you post any more, do that. That's the first most important thing. Then the next step would be taking a photo of your first 3 tiles. Okay? Shorten it, put it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, these are the first 3 tiles in my Instagram. Should I improve it? Do you have any suggestions? Ask it like it's your marketing guru, right? And see what it says. Now, I'll tell you what it said to me. I had these perfect 3 tiles and I thought it was great. But what I noticed was one was getting a lot of attention and the others weren't. And I thought, well, they look perfect. It flows. They had headings. And when I asked ChatGPT, the first 3 tiles, sorry, I'm just answering a question. So on your page, it said that I needed to show more of me and my family. So I changed it. So it told me what order to put them in. So the first tile was a family shot. The second tile was me, and then get to know my family. Now, you need to work on this. The first 3 tiles are your introduction. Who are you? When I read the first 3 tiles of somebody, I want to come away feeling like I know what they're about. I know what their business is to a point. I can tell they're real people. When you look at mine, do you think I'm hiding anything? No. And I'm not saying go plant your kids' faces all over. My kids are in there, but you can't see them a lot, but you can see we're a family. So the first 3 tiles should tell a story. And I want you to ask ChatGPT what that story should be for you. Now, remember, ChatGPT already knows what your businesses are. You've now got your bio. So the next step is the first 3 tiles on your Instagram or wherever. And what you do is you pin them to the top once you're finished. Now, you can use Canva. Canva is a really easy tool to use. If you've never used Canva before, it doesn't take too long to have a play around. What I would suggest is that you type into the search bar of Canva, Instagram Reel, right? And the reason I say Reel is because Instagram is geared more towards getting more exposure and more reach through Reels. Now, I'm now going to give you a tip. You don't need to post multiple times a day. Once a day is fine. But whatever time you pick, try and stick to around that time every day. Because what will happen is the algorithms will get to know you. And if you stay consistent, it will expand your reach. Has anybody put your hand up if anybody has received a notification from Instagram saying your content is really good, and to reward you, we've just expanded your reach. Who's had that before? I get that all the time. And I'll tell you why I get it, because I do it at the same time consistently every single day. It's not about the likes, the love hearts. Couldn't care less if nobody loved my posts, right? I'm not doing it for outer gratification. I know what this tool does, and it pushes out beyond my network. If you're consistent, you're doing quality images, and I'm going to go into content in a minute, and you're consistent, your reach will grow over time. You won't see it. You won't see the love grow generally. Doesn't matter if you don't get any comments, but I'll tell you what the most important thing is. Who sees a lot of quotes on their Instagram? Do you see a lot of quotes? Always quotes. Why do you think that is? Because Instagram is geared towards sharing. So if you create content that is more shareable, that could be shareable by your friends, by your community. Let's talk, because it's easier for me to talk about. Let's talk my crypto or the travel club community I'm part of. If I shared a really nice image of a palm tree and a lady in a hammock, maybe it might be a short reel, like a movement reel, maybe 5 seconds, right? And I say something like dreaming of my next holiday. Who wants to go to Hawaii? That could be relatable for anyone, right? And people might share that because they relate to it. Or who's stuck in their office dreaming of this? Lots of people. So they might share it. So when you're doing content, ask yourself, is it shareable? Is it shareable by my community that I'm a part of? Would my friends share it? It's not the ultimate goal, but it's something to think about. And what happens when you apply these little things is it removes that hard sales in your face. Nobody likes being sold to, right? So you want to tell stories, and you want to make sure that your description is bold, that it draws people in. Let me find a good one. This one. Let's talk about pyramid schemes. Right? People are going to be like, oh, what's she talking about? And they're going to look at it, right? Something that will draw them in. It doesn't always have to be perfect. Mine definitely aren't. And you can go on and have a look at mine to get ideas. Sometimes I hit the jackpot and I get over 2,000 likes or views or whatever. And sometimes I get donuts. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the content. What I've noticed over a long period of time, though, if it's too salesy, if it's too direct, people just move on. So you want to kind of entice people to want to have a look at it. Use ChatGPT. You could go to ChatGPT and say, create 20 headings for reels for my Instagram around crypto, travel, and hydrogen water. And it will create it for you. You can ask it to create a planner. You can ask it to create content for your social media with hashtags. You only need 2 to 7 good hashtags. And hashtags work if you use them correctly. Let's just say you do a food post though. Don't do hashtag food. It's too broad. It's one of the biggest hashtags in the world. Think about your niche. Ask ChatGPT, have a play with it and say, I want to create some really unique hashtags for me. What are some viral hashtags in the travel space? What are some viral hashtags in the crypto space? Whatever your business is. And then ask them for more niche specific hashtags as well, and use a little bit of a mixture between the viral ones and the more niche specific ones. Try and stay away from the really generalized, big, broad ones because it won't do anything for your social media. What hashtags do is it links followers in the algorithm. So if you can get really specific with your niche as you're posting, sharing daily, you're going to start attracting new connections naturally. And you won't always see that, remember? But your social media will start popping up in other people's social media. So that's that. Now, let's talk about, I really wanted to talk about sharing from more a heart place. Now, some of my posts are quite direct, but the reason I can be like that on my social media is because I've used my social media as a business tool for over a decade. My audience knows me as a business person, right? So I can be more direct. If you're starting out and you've never you've just touched on it as a business tool, I wouldn't advise you to go and start selling quite directly on your social media. What you want to do is you want to tell stories. Become really good at storytelling. How would you tell a friend? Let's imagine you're catching up with your friend for a glass of wine and she says, Kylie, I can't wait to hear about this new travel club that you're a part of. I want you to think about how would you talk to your friend? You've arrived at her house. You've poured a glass of wine. She's excited to hear. And she's like, I want to hear all about it. Go, hit me. And you start, you know your style, and your style might be different to Sky's style, right? Whatever your style is, that's how you start your story. People want to read your content and can hear your voice if they know you, right? You want to share who you really are. Remember, imagine if there's no Instagram or anything like that. How would you talk to someone about your excitement, about your business opportunity, about what you're doing if you were belly to belly? And that's what I don't see enough of on social media. I don't see a lot of that anymore. It's very hardcore education. It's like I see a lot of crypto stuff online and it's quite direct in your face. But ask yourself, who are you trying to attract? And ask yourself, the content that you're putting out there, does it match who your avatar is? And let's talk about avatar for a sec. Avatar is an image of who your target market is. Guess who my avatar is? Me. Someone like me. Someone that's a busy mum, loves animals, loves being on the farm, loves being busy, loves making money, values freedom, autonomy, don't like being told what to do, don't like being sold to. I love drinking wine, but I also love my ginger tea. I'm a bit of a, but that's who I am. I'm also a mum to busy twin boys. They have autism. There's another element there. So I'm always reading and researching about that. I wear many hats. We all wear many hats. But I want you to really ask yourself, if you could attract anyone in your business, who would it be? And that's who you need to speak to. When I read what I write to put out to the world, I ask myself, would I be attracted to that? Or would I be repelled? Sometimes, depending on what mood I'm in, I could be repelled, but it might, if you're only doing it every now and then, you actually might attract someone that's feeling the same way as you that day. And it happens. So think about your avatar. Think about how you like to be spoken to when it comes to business, and start talking more that way on your social media. Storytelling, reels get more reach. You can look at my social media, I would say 98% of my Instagram are reels. And guess what I do? Once I've got my reel, I pick music. I always have a call to action. They call it a CTA. You can ask ChatGPT, when you're creating headings, creating content, what's a great CTA for you? A CTA, just to explain what that is, it could be DM free below for more information. It could be DM crypto below if you would like my free ebook. It could be comment travel below if you'd like how to learn to travel smarter. Always. I always say, if you're taking the time out of your busy day to create content and share it, if you don't have a CTA attached, you've just wasted your time. It's a waste. If you don't have 2 to 7 hashtags, it's a wasted opportunity, right? We have the best tool we've ever had at our fingertips, and that's ChatGPT. Nobody should have to feel like they need to go out and spend good money on all those enticing tools that we see every day on social media. And anyone that's in digital marketing that sells courses, that's different, right? If that's your business, that's different. I know what they are, those digital courses. That's their business. And there's plenty of people out there that would love to buy those courses, go and duplicate it, and resell it their own way. I'm not here saying that's no good. I'm just saying for those that are running a business online, whether it's crypto, water, health products, whatever it is, makeup, shampoo and conditioner, whatever it is, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is get really good at doing the basic steps every day at the same time, roughly, every day, and try not to miss a day. If you miss a week, oh, I've had such a busy week with my twins, I can't be bothered posting this week. I've just wasted all those hours. People don't believe me when I say it. You take a holiday from your online business posting, which should only take you a few minutes when you get really good at it. Might take you 5 to 10 now if you're trying to navigate a few things. If you take a holiday from your sharing on social media once a day, a 3-minute job, you may as well kiss the last 6 months goodbye because the algorithm's gone, oh, where's Sky gone? Oh, boom. Let's shut her shop. And then when she comes back all excited, she's going to get no reach. She's going to have to prove to Instagram again that she's consistent, she's showing up, she's still doing her business. So whether you agree with me or not, one of my non-negotiables is posting daily. Now, I might miss the odd day here and there. That's okay. But you'll never see me miss 2 days or more. Or if I've had a really hectic morning, because I like doing my posts in the morning, maybe the twins haven't woken up great. Maybe they've been sick. Maybe we've had a long night. Maybe they're running late for school. All the things. And I just can't get to it. I will do it at night, but I notice a difference if I'm not consistent. And I do monitor mine. The other thing that I want to say is that if you are using social media as a tool to share who you are and what you're offering and what you're excited about in the world, you need to have it on public and it needs to be a professional one. You need to be able to see your professional dashboard. Okay? And you can really see your account details in there and narrow it right down. So when I open up mine, I don't know if you can see it, from the 21st of July to the 19th of August, I've had over 30,000 views. I've had 616 interactions. I've got 968 new followers. That's interesting. Total message contacts, 26. And I've shared 258 different pieces of content in that time frame. When you first start out, get into the habit of checking into that and just having a look. There's no wrong or right in there, but what you should start to notice is your views should be climbing. As you become better, as you become more consistent, your views should naturally go up. And that's really exciting. So then you can dive deeper into that, and I can click on views and it gives me a circle. The purple is new followers. So what does that tell me? That I must be doing something right between those dates to be able to grow my Instagram by 65%. What have I done in the last, what's that? 4 weeks. I know what I've done. I know exactly what I've done. I've diversified my messaging. So for a long time, I was only messaging about one thing, crypto. Crypto this, decentralized that, crypto this, and I love crypto. Love it. But I've added in travel and I've added in more storytelling. And that's the results. It works. So again, I'm no expert, but I know what works. And just to add a little bit to the end, when someone actually asked me the other day, if someone likes your post, do you reach out to them? No, I don't. Very rarely. I actually have a VA, Algene, who's here today. And I also use ManyChat. So sometimes when I'm putting out an offer, it might be, would you like a free copy of my Crypto 101 guide? Comment Crypto 101 below. I'll go into a company called Manage Me, and I do automation response, right? So if someone says comments Crypto 101, it will automatically send them a message and attach my guide. So I don't have to worry about it. These are all the things that you'll get to do as you become busier and busier, because it's about having a freedom lifestyle, right? The bigger you get, the more busier you become. So then you start introducing the tools that you need, right? So you're not having to respond to everyone. If I was to start fresh today, let's just say I'm starting from scratch, would I respond to every single like, love, comment? Yes, I would. I would send, thank you for loving my post. I hope you've had a really nice day today. Something like that. Connection. I'm not selling them anything. I'm not asking if they want to buy the product that they loved. I'm not doing that. I'm just connecting. I don't do that today because most of the people that actually like my posts are people I know anyway. So I'd be sending the repeated, I've got very loyal people they love my posts, and I love that. But I'd be very busy replying to the same people over and over again. So don't get caught up on the loves or the likes. But if you are starting out, do pay attention to it. Connect with that person. Say thank you. They'll feel really good. It's like before technology, walking down the street and saying, gosh, you've got a lovely smile. Or gosh, your hair looks great today. I love the outfit that you're wearing. It's the same thing in social media world. Actually acknowledging that someone actually made an effort to love your post doesn't sound like much, but it is in that world. So yes, I would definitely respond with, thank you for loving my post today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if they haven't followed you, follow them. That's another compliment. And it's just thinking about those transactions a little differently, not just taking the click, click, click for granted, not taking for granted that everyone's going to come running and knocking on our door because we've got the best opportunity in the world and we're really excited, so they should be excited too. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. But if you narrow down those basic steps, you're going to start attracting your correct niche target market people that are probably just like you. So, does anyone have any questions? If not, I can stop the recording and we can talk. I think we'll do that. So thank you for joining me here. I hope that you've got something really useful out of this today. I'm happy for anyone to reach out to me and ask me questions privately if they want to. I'm approachable. I'm never too busy to connect with people. And thank you for attending.